Okay, humans, so today's video is about how do I make my videos, and I think one of the most important things is to know that you don't actually need the most expensive equipment, and you don't even need like somebody helping you. You can figure this stuff out yourself. However, it did take me a long time to figure out what I thought was the most flexible, most convenient, most simple, but most effective way to record video and also audio. So the video itself isn't that hard because I actually just use my iPhone. I'm currently using an iPhone 7 Plus, but it's the audio that I found quite tricky and difficult to set up. And it took me a little while to get to this place where I have better audio. Today we're just recording on the phone's audio, but I'm going to show you what it's like to record with some better audio. I'm going to show you what I use. So let's flip the camera over. And this is my setup. So I use some of the best audio equipment in the world. It's the Australian-made RodeLink. This is their Filmmakers Kit, and essentially you get a transmitter, which is a device that you wear on your person. So when I'm recording, I put this onto my belt and I feed the lapel and I put it close to my chest or my shirt, and that then connects and pairs with something called a receiver. And the receiver is typically of similar looking design. It's still the Rode. One says TX and one says RX, but they're currently both paired to channel 3. So this one says 3, this one says 3, and they can both talk to each other. Now, this is actually the fun part. I've gone and bought an additional little hot shoe, which is mounted to a tripod holder. So if I break all of this down, it's actually multiple parts that need to come together to make this work. For me, you need a handle, and I think this has a 1/4 inch screw at the top, and the handle just needs to be safe and sturdy and not going to break. The 1/4 inch top basically is a screw, and that screw allows this unit to screw straight on top of it, which is really handy. What this does, it holds my iPhone. So I put my iPhone in there, and it safely keeps it in place. On top, I've super glued this hot shoe mount, which is great because I can then take the receiver, the RX, and I can place it in the hot shoe mount really easily, and I can lock that down and screw it on. And by doing that, I now have a really good unit that I can film and hold and record audio all at the same time. Now, here's the tricky part. It took me a little while to figure this out. The receiver for the Rode Filmmaker Kit actually has a stereo output, but this plug is not appropriate to plug into your iPhone, as we know, and it needs to be converted, and the way that it does is through this cable called a SC4 Rode cable, which it converts that plug, and if we pop that in here, to one that can be used with an iPhone, or you may see the difference. This has 3 rings on it, the other one had 2. However, this still doesn't go into an iPhone, that still doesn't work, so we need the audio jack into lightning cable converter, and those things combine to bring you awesome audio and sound quality, plus the visual, because you're actually able to stabilize the camera a lot better than just hand holding, which is what I'm doing now. I put all of those things in this bag, and I know exactly where they are, and it's one way to keep them really safe. So let's do an audio test of the iPhone audio versus the RodeLink setup. Okay, so I'm actually using an iPad right now, and I'm just using the audio on the iPad. But to demonstrate my setup, I've got the iPhone 7 in the holder, and it's so easy for me to choose what I'd like to do. If I'm filming somebody else, I've got the screen showing whatever I'm pointing at. But if I'm filming myself, it's actually really easy for me to flip it around and start seeing myself and actually seeing if I'm in shot and things like that, which is easy, wonderful actually. Now, let's run through the cable setup again. You needed the Rode transmitter that goes into an SC4 Rode cable that then goes into the audio jack into lightning connection, and that just goes straight in like so. And because that is so easy and simple to set up, I really can just take this anywhere, and it doesn't take me very long to set up. That's one component. The other component is the lapel and the transmitting unit, which is pretty simple. I just hide it somewhere and clip it in, or lock it into my shorts, or put it into a pocket. The lapel itself, I want to keep it somewhere close. I don't really mind if it's in shot, because here's the deal. Great video is one thing, but when you're trying to record a story or talk about something and you want to communicate really well, it's so important to have awesome audio. So I don't mind if you look at the microphone. we're trying to tell a story. So let's test audio. So this is audio using the iPad. We're going to do a test now. We're testing audio using the iPhone, and just the iPhone. I've taken out the cable, so we're testing the iPhone audio. And now we're going to test the audio using the Rode Filmmakers Kit. So, this is the test now using the Rode Filmmakers Kit. And I'm going to switch this around. I can play with the settings because it's a little bit too bright, but I have the ability to move and change, and it gives me wonderful flexibility. I think this gives me up to 100 meters distance from the receiver to the transmitter. So that's huge amount of distance, and I found it very, very flexible, very easy to use. It's great when I'm out and about and I'm by myself. Even sometimes when I'm Professor Y and I'm by myself, and somebody can easily just hold the camera for me while I interview somebody. So that is actually a different kit that I use with the Rode microphone, but a very similar setup in terms of setting up the phone and setting up the cables and the transmitter and the receiver. So this is audio with the Rode, and this is audio without the Rode. And yeah, you can make your mind up. Do you need to go spend $300, $400, $500, $600 on this connection? Is it worth it? What's worth it? But for me, this is the best quality microphone video setup that I can afford, and I actually prefer it, to be honest. I've seen other expensive equipment out there, and they're just not even that as convenient as this. So yeah, this is how we run and gun and how we film and record our audio. Also, here's another hot tip. One of the best things I've ever bought in my life, apart from the Rode audio microphone setup, is this Adams Element eye clips. I'll pop it on the ground and I'll put links in the description below. But this thing is amazing. For anyone that's recording on their Apple product, especially iPhone or iPads, this connection is so simple, and it goes straight into the phone. It has up to 128 gigabytes. It works so effectively and so efficiently, and I can get the data off my phone really quickly and put it on my laptop or my iMac, or actually I can put it anywhere because it's got a USB. So it's super effective, it's really quick, and yeah, this is by far one of the best things I've ever bought in my whole entire life. Not even kidding. Really, really, really worth its value.